What is going on, movie fans, and welcome back to my channel. Elliot back with another fresh out of the theater reaction / movie review for seeing the new A24 biographical drama by the name of Priscilla. Now, this is a film I was looking forward to checking out. Did I enjoy it? Did I not enjoy it? I'm going to talk about that in today's spoiler-free reaction, but first I want to talk to y'all in the comments. Let me know if this is a film that was circled on your calendar, but more importantly, once you've seen it, what worked, what didn't work. Let's have those conversations in the comments below. So first off, I apologize for the backdrop here. I saw the film, had to do something at work, and got my phone, got my mic, so hopefully you can see me, hopefully you can hear me. Again, I apologize for that, but let's get into my thoughts here. I'm going to be honest. It was okay. It was just okay. I'm a big fan of Sofia Coppola. I love Lost in Translation. I like the talent involved, and I was very intrigued to see this story of this young girl, 14-year-old girl, falling in love with Elvis Presley and all the stuff that came with that, and it was just okay to me. But I want to talk about the positives first, and then we'll dive into what made it just okay and slightly disappointing. Positively speaking, Sofia Coppola, when you look at her body of work, she does such a great job. Again, I mentioned Lost in Translation, but she has a lot of other great, fantastic films. Some of them work more than others for me, but the way she captures the mindset of her characters, the sense of isolation with the characters, especially with this story, Priscilla, again, a 14-year-old girl at this point of her life knows who Elvis Presley is. Everyone knows who he is, and he's taken interest in her, and just seeing that sense of this can't be real. This must be fake. When am I going to wake up from that dream? And speaking of dream, the way Sofia captures that sense of like awe and sense of wonder and sense of like excitement and love eventually that we see Priscilla have for Elvis, it is captured so well. It's so beautifully shot. I love the time period that we're in and how they recreate that time. But then seeing that transition from someone having this deep love for someone, and you're hoping that love is reciprocated, but it comes with conditions. It comes with convenience. And I like the way that Sofia captured seeing that character, Priscilla, her perspective of, he loves me. I love him. Things are right. This is right. I'm going to devote my whole life to him. And the way she captures that is really well done to me. Going to some of those performances, you have Cailee and you have Jacob Elordi. I've been following both of their careers since the very beginning. Cailee with Pacific Rim and, Bad Times, the El Royale. Jacob Elordi with the Kissing Booth all the way to Euphoria. They've both had some interesting careers, and they both give really solid performances. Like, I really bought into their performances a lot. Cailee being so isolated, being by herself in most of the film, and then seeing Jacob Elordi playing Elvis in such an interesting way. Like, I like his portrayal. I'm not going to sit here and compare it to Austin Butler or anything of that nature because it's two different films, but I really enjoyed the performances. But unfortunately, kind of transitioning to my negatives here, it lacked that emotional depth and just emotional punch that I was looking for in this story. We meet this 14-year-old girl, and seeing her parents, the way they just kind of nilly-willy allow this relationship to happen, and the film never really dives into the minutia and the controversy and inappropriate nature of that relationship. Like, it touches on it again. People are acknowledging, well, she looks like a little kid, because she is a little kid, but the film didn't really lean into that and explore that element more. Instead, we're just seeing this little girl who is falling in love with this man. He gives her things. He's showing her the attention, but then he goes months and weeks and days without contacting her. But then he grooms her. He hooks her in by taking her there, by buying this, by showing her certain amounts of attention. But it's almost like we just don't get the depth. We don't get the time to really sit in her feelings of the situation at hand. Like, we just see a lot of moments where, again, Sofia captures the isolation perfectly. Like, we're in a prison of her mind. She's in this beautiful mansion most of the time, but there's a lot of space, but there's nothing filled within that space. It didn't really have the moments that I was looking for to really dive into this person's mindset and being in this relationship. For me, we never really got that moment for Priscilla to kind of break free of this cage. Like, it leads to this moment where she eventually kind of realizes this isn't the relationship that I need to be in. This isn't the person I need to be with. But we never have that moment building to that. We just see these sequences of scenes. Like, there's the first half to me is really strong because it captures, like I mentioned, that fairy tale like dream sequence really well. But then as we kind of move along, she becomes this teenager to becoming his wife, to have having his kid, and there's just so many moments of just like, we're skipping from this point to this point to that point, but I want to be in those moments more. I want more of an emphasis on those moments and those highlighted moments, because we just skip through time and we're going through things like it's a snapshot of their life. And I just want to sit in scenes a little bit longer, have more depth, have more conversation. I almost wish that Priscilla had another character to kind of bounce off of besides Elvis. Now, I get it. That's the point of the film. She was isolated. Elvis didn't really allow her to be herself, to be her own woman, to have friends and whatnot. But I almost wish like there was this, I don't want to say make-believe, but I almost wish that she had this character that she created in her own self, almost like another version of herself, to kind of bounce off of. This isn't right. He isn't right. This situation isn't working for me. We really don't get that moment in this film. Overall, Priscilla is at its best when it captures the fairy tale-esque sequences of events of a young girl who was completely swept away and lost with the idea of this bigger-than-life star in Elvis, who shared her love, but with conditions and conveniences. Sofia Coppola's direction truly encapsulates isolation and loneliness with such intimacy, and I thought the performances by our two leads were great, but unfortunately the film lacked that emotional punch I was looking for in this story. As we watch this kid become a woman over time, but the film never gives you her moment to break free. Instead, we skip through so many scenes and years that go by without a lot of subtext or without a lot of meaning. Now, while I enjoyed the individual performances and there were moments throughout the film that I like, but collectively, there wasn't a lot going on. I'm a fan of Coppola's work, but this one didn't really work for me. I'm gonna give Priscilla a 2.5 out of 5. So that's my thoughts on the movie. Let me know yours in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let's have those conversations in the comments below. I want to take the time to thank you all for watching today's review. You all are awesome. Hope you're staying safe, and I'll catch you all on the next video.